Okay. Today I'm sharing about the new features and restrictions in Reactor 7.1 that will give you a better overview of the changes between Reactor 6 and Reactor 7. In this presentation, there are 3 chapters. Chapter 1 is Demo New Features. Chapter 2 is Other Updates. And the last one is Reference Restrictions. Okay, let's move to the chapter 1. In the chapter 1, I list some functions that includes in the release note Reactor 7 file. You can check this file for more detail. If you install Reactor 7. Okay. Number 1, open recently scenario. You can see in my screen, we have suggest some scenarios through this function that helps user open scenario cluster. That's so the scenario I created before, but I removed it, so we can open it right now. Right? Okay. Number 2 is layout. With the
sorry, it's wet. It's okay.
Reactor 7 has made some very significant improvements to the interface. When you open Reactor 6, you see all screens open in separated windows. But in Reactor 7, all screens open the same window, right? Moreover, you can edit property is not in the same window too, like this. Okay. Furthermore, you can change style of theme. There are 3 styles of theme. The main, classic, and dark. Okay. And the last thing of layout, you can add more scenario and add more tab at the same time by clicking a plus button. And if you click the drop down button on the right edge, that is the corresponding scenario file and the tab file. If you choose this, the tab and the scenario will be displayed. Okay. Next one, you can copy this function between scenarios like this. Copy and paste this into the new scenario 2. If this node includes the variable like this, and you copy and paste to another scenario, thus the variable added will be added to, right? Okay. The next one, the number 3, automatically save properties when switching to another. This is an option in Edit tab. I will open it. You see? If I do not check this option and remove this one, I open property window and try to modify something. And switch to another scenario. Reactor will show the dialog box. You have to choose yes or no to switch another. Right. But in case I check automatically set property and modify here. And switch another one. There are no dialog box will show, and the modifier will be set. Right? Okay. Move to the favorite tab. Number 4, favorite tab. You can register functions in a node tab and library tab like this. These functions will be added in a favorite tab. You have no longer to search this function. Okay. Number 5, the error detecting. Okay. I modify the property. I do not input any variable in here and click update. The error will be displayed in a red frame. If you hover the mouse over this node, the content of the error will be displayed in the tooltip. You can see the name should be entered. The number of the errors will be reported in the footer. Number 1. Right. Okay. Number 6, the structure of menu. In the Reactor 6, in Reactor 6, the structure has been changed compared with Reactor 7. You can see on my screen. In Reactor 6, it is file, display, setting, and tool. But in Reactor 7, it is file, view, tool, and help. And the submenu has changed too. In Reactor 7, the submenu has changed and add one new function like this. Okay. The next about the number 7, the coordinate of a frame. In Reactor 6, I use Notepad, and in the Reactor 6, I use the target button and target to the hover on to the Notepad. And you can see on my screen there is a space between the target area and the Notepad. But in Reactor 7, when I target, there is no space between the target area and the Notepad, right? Why is there this difference? Sometimes there are some actions we have to do in the corner of the window. So in Reactor 6 may not be executed correctly, but Reactor 7 they can. Okay. Recording number 8, recording of Firefox operations. Reactor 7 has added a Firefox mode that allows users to record action for robot on Firefox browser. Before using this mode, please install add-on into Firefox browser. To install this add-on, please follow the guideline in Reactor Firefox version. PDF file into the installation version. Like IE mode and or Chrome mode, users use target and target to the window like this and press the recording button. And I will do something in here. I choose the category, that name, product, and click submit. And stop recording. You can see Ver.7 will generate scenario that correspond to like person do, women do, and also with generate the launch Firefox too. Okay. Now I run this scenario. The result is the same, right? Number 9, OCR matching. This one. OCR matching that performs OCR-based image matching is provided. Now I download the business function. Open property. You can see some parameters. It's quite same as the image matching function, right? And the first parameter we take a photo. I choose this window, this browser. This is the image vector. The second parameter is WinID name. Get a WinID name. And the last, I impose string on the image, like category, and click test button. We have to show the message of the target string was detected, and the string verified with the red frame. Right? So when we use this function, Reactor 7 allows us to find string on the image and move to the button, the property. You can see some another parameter like timeout action. It looks like image matching function. Okay. Number 10, language switching function. Reactor 7 available to switch the language from English to Japanese. When changing to Japanese, all function name is Japanese too. In Note tab and Library tab. number 10, number 11, translation dictionary. I switch to English version and to translation dictionary function. In my understanding, this function helps user to change WinID name automatically when changing from English version to Japanese version. I think this function quite interesting. Okay. The last one is WinActor scenario script. It's called WSS. WinActor scenario script that develops scenarios based on text is provided. So I try to demo to create new scenario with WSS enabled. Like this. And drag and drop waiting dialog and try to run this scenario. You can see where the show the message is nothing. Now I set this scenario in the folder WSS. Reactor 7 will generate Reactor 7 will generate two files. The first file is the scenario file. Second file is script file. And I open script file with the notepad and try to modify code here and save it. And back to the Reactor 7. I close this scenario and reopen and try to run again. So let us throw the message box with the string Reactor 7. Okay. This is chapter 1. We move to the chapter 2. There are the updates. The first is the type and range of numerical value. So type and range of numerical values available for conditional expressions such as precision, multi-branch, pre-test loop, and post-test loop has been expanded. It is possible to compare an integer with non-integer. Now I will demo this one. About the weighted 6. I try to the if-else function. I will compare the integer value with 1 less than non-integer value is 1.5, and that's okay. With the 6 we show the message value must be integer, so we can compare integer value and with the non-integer value in with 6. So what about the Reactor 7? I try to drop the precision and complete. So integer value less than non-integer, and we update. So Reactor 7 accept it, and we try to message by using waiting dialog box and true, and remain false, and run. work, right? The second is a tab for mix-in option dialog. Reactor 7 provide mix. You can edit some property in the for the log file, like node title width or maximum number of logs to display, or version 6 installation path. Yeah. Next one, server setup. Reactor 7 can connect to server to node log case and floating license case, but the floating license case is only for Japanese mode, so can remove this down. But in Reactor 7, you can see the config to connect the management server, the management server and proxy server where to store the log file or scenario file. Next one, the server redundancy. Reactor is now able to work in an environment where management server or license server have redundancy. It is possible to set connectivity information for both management server 1 and management server 2. Next one, send log to management server or zip log server. As you can see on my screen, you can Reactor 7 will send the log file Reactor 7 will send the log file to management server or log server by this config option dialog automatically. The scenario management on cloud. It's quite the same as the send log to the server. Scenario management on cloud is available to upload, download scenario file by linking with WinActor Manager on cloud. Upload scenario file and possible to share among WMC. This function is only available in Japanese mode. About the limitation, in Reactor version 6, there are some limited functions like variable registration, multi-branch exception, monitoring rules. But WinActor 7, they are unlimited. The last thing is recurrency restrictions. About function, the first functional compatibility. In the version 7.1, there are no Reactor Node and Reactor I, but it will be available in Reactor 7.2. And scenario file created by Reactor version 5 and 6 can be used in Reactor 7. Processing speed may be different between version 7 and 6, like the IE when executing node related to IE operation in version 7 may be slower than using version 6 in a specific environment. It may occur that scenario file affected by this difference. Next, license transfer condition. WinActor version 5, 6 and 7 can be used at the same time on the same PC. However, when both of the scenarios are executed at the same time, there are no guarantee that the scenarios will work normally. And the license has restriction like in the load lock case, in the load lock license and the floating license, the license are required in for Reactor version 5 or 6 and 7. If you want to license transfer work, you need to follow in some environment like when the OS is Windows 10 and Reactor version 5 or 6 installed using standard users or update license on Reactor version 5 or 6 on the environment 1. Or Reactor 7 reinstall the license clear in the environment 1. And the last one is how to license transfer from version 5 or 6 to version 7. Close with step 1, follow Reactor version 5 or 6. Step 2, display the version screen of the Reactor 7, and step 3, click the register license button. And the last, specify the install version 5 or 6 Reactor. That's all my presentation. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your presentation.